Okay, I got a question here from Julian DJG. He's basically got this issue where he starts up his Windows and it doesn't really quite boot up all the way. It brings him to the menu there and he chooses an option and it automatically restarts it, takes him back to his HP screen, and it does the same thing again. So what you really want to do here is get to the root of your problem here. You want to actually figure out what's causing that issue. And what you want to do is right after your HP screen shows up, you want to start pressing your F8 key. And what this is going to do is it's going to give you a menu kind of like this one here. Where you're going to go through and choose a option here called Disable Automatic Restart on System Failure. Because what's happening to you is your system isn't just really kind of auto restarting, it's actually blue screen crashing out and then restarting. The thing is, Windows isn't showing you the blue screen because it's set to automatically restart on system failure every time. So once you go through, select this option, you'll actually see the blue screen error code that's causing this for you. And with that, you're going to get a couple common blue screen errors, most likely. One of which is going to be an unmountable boot volume message. If you're getting that, that means your file system's gotten corrupt one way or the other. It could be due to a power outage or fluctuation that caused your system to basically write a little bit gibberish to your hard drive, and it's just not able to be used by Windows. In that event, you can usually use something like the Ultimate Boot CD to go through and basically repair that file system. You can also use something like the Windows Recovery Console to do the same thing. Usually with the unmountable boot volume, using a check disk will get that taken care of. I'll make a separate video on how to do a check disk, but it's pretty simple. You can even just right click on a hard drive and select it if you want to do it that way, if you have a booting Windows copy. But anyway, another one you might get is a error 7B series of messages, and that one's a little bit trickier. You could have something going on with a piece of hardware in your system or outside your system, like a printer or a USB device or something you might have hooked up externally to your system. It can sometimes cause that 7B message. First thing to do if you get a 7B is go through and disconnect anything extra. Keep up your keyboard, mouse, and monitor, of course. And if your system still does a 7B, then you might have some other kind of hardware related issue where it could even be the drivers themselves have somehow gotten corrupt or damaged, which goes back to the corrupt file system issue. And in some cases I've even seen that be related to a virus, where the virus goes through, basically fiddles around with the driver files themselves and causes them to get corrupt or damaged and causes an error 7B. Another thing you want to do is if you are getting a message saying the file system is corrupt, unmountable boot volume, or the crazy 7B series of error messages, go through and basically just verify your hard drive is in good working order. Using a utility like SpinRite or HD Tune with the Ultimate Boot CD, you can basically see if your hard drive is getting smart errors, and that's an indicator it could be starting to have issues. If the check disk does not fix the issue, what you want to do is basically reload that partition. If you go through and run a Windows repair on a corrupt partition, it can fix the issue for the short term, but you may see the issue again later down the road, or you might even just fix it, indefinitely, but usually it comes back and ends up biting you in the rear if you got a corrupt file, and it's caused by a corrupt file system. But that's the gist of that, how you can go through diagnose your issue there. I definitely recommend testing out the stuff before you go through and do something like a Windows repair or a full reload of the system. Go through and basically figure out what the root cause of it is, because it could be something completely unrelated or something completely different than what you might be expecting, and as a result you could end up reloading your system and you don't have to. So like I said, hope that answers your question. If you got any more questions on it, feel free to message me, and until next time, I'll see you later.